like many of us and still have trouble talking about your period, it's very common, even though our periods are something that take up so much of our lives. The average woman has around 450 periods in her lifetime. If you think about 5 days per period, well, that's 2,250 days, or 6 years. We're so happy to have Carrie Martin-Verbanek here. She is a pelvic health specialist. Carrie, welcome. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you, Val. I'm so happy to be here.
Why don't we just start at the beginning? What are menstrual cups?
So a menstrual cup is a comfortable, reusable option to tampons and pads. And what the cup does is it actually collects the flow as opposed to absorbing it. So Diva was created to give women an alternative to their menstrual cycle. It's reusable, user-friendly, and it's accessible throughout the world.
So my sister actually introduced me to the Diva Cup about 5 years ago, and ever since then I've been using the Diva Cup. I absolutely love it because it's comfortable, it's reusable, and it's economical.
What would you say to a woman who's thinking about making the switch from tampons and pads to a menstrual cup?
Well, for someone who's looking to make the switch, I recommend looking for a cup that is latex-free, BPA-free, plastic-free, and dye-free. And that's one of the reasons why I recommend the Diva Cup.
Okay, good to know. Can you walk us through maybe the how-tos of using a menstrual cup?
It's actually a lot easier than it seems. So basically what you're going to do is when you first buy your cup, so you're new to the Diva Cup, you're going to boil your cup for about 5 to 10 minutes and then you're going to let it cool. And you're going to wash your hands, fold the cup, and it makes it easier to insert. I always encourage women to remain relaxed when they're inserting the cup, and then we're going to rotate the cup. And what that does is it helps to create a seal. The Diva Cup is easier to insert if those pelvic floor muscles remain nice and relaxed. And I always recommend that when you read the box and follow the user guide that comes with the product.
Yeah, and we get more comfortable with it over time the more often we do it, just like anything else, right? What about removing it?
So the removal is very similar to the insertion, same principles apply. What you're going to do is you're going to reach up and you're going to pinch the cup. And what that does is it actually breaks the seal that you formed when you originally inserted it. And you're just going to wiggle it a little bit and gently remove it and then empty the contents that are in the cup.
So I won't lie, it definitely does take a few cycles to get used to the Diva Cup. It's certainly a learning curve, but once you do get the hang of it, it's really easy and you don't feel it at all. I love that there's so many great resources online, specifically on divacup.com.
And the plan is, we're going to reuse this thing over and over. So are there any special care instructions? How do we clean it? How do we store it?
Absolutely. So what you want to do is you want to wash the cup thoroughly with warm water and Diva Wash or a mild unscented non-oil-based soap. And then the cup itself comes in a cotton bag, so you're going to store it in your bag when it's not in use. The really important things that I remind women is you don't want to use things like bleach, hydrogen peroxide, dish soap, or castile soap, and absolutely do not put it in the dishwasher.
If we're not at home, is there a different way of handling that procedure?
If you're not comfortable washing out in the open, like in a public restroom, then you can wipe the cup with a dry or damp cloth and store it until you get home and wash it according to instructions.
Yeah, that sounds ideal.
And then there's actually another option. There's a new product out from Diva called the Shaker Cup. And this is a BPA-free silicone collapsible cup that you can fill with water and Diva Wash and clean your cup on the go.
I use the Diva Wash, which is a plant-based cleanser that helps me keep my Diva Cup clean. As well, I use the Diva Wipes, which are really, really good for on the go, and especially when you don't have access to a sink or if you're in a public bathroom.
Well, I imagine we're not going to use the same cup over our lifetime. We will have to buy a new one eventually. When should we expect to have to do that?
Well, this depends on things like your vaginal pH, how well you're cleaning your cup, how often you're cleaning your cup, and what you're using to clean the cup. But I really do think it depends on the consumer. So what I recommend is that the consumer check for signs of deterioration. Things like discoloration, odor, a white powdery film that forms on the cup. These are usually indications that it's time for a new cup.
So I actually didn't have to buy a new Diva Cup until I decided to switch model sizes. So it's really completely up to you and how you take care of your Diva Cup.
Oh, sizes. There are sizes?
Absolutely, Val. Women's bodies differ and they change over time. So I always recommend looking for a menstrual cup that offers sizes. And Diva Cup actually offers 3 sizes. But I always caution women, just because you fall into one of those age categories doesn't mean that that's the right cup fit for you. So you want to ensure that you read the box and you read the manual that comes along with the product. Also, Diva Cup has a great customer care team that's available to answer any questions on fit and function.
We have one last question, and this might be the most important one, Carrie. Are menstrual cups comfortable?
Honestly, Val, so many people report that the menstrual cup is so much more comfortable than a tampon. It's a soft, pliable cup that can be inserted. Basically, you're supposed to forget about the fact that you're on your period.
As a yoga teacher, I absolutely love how comfortable Diva Cup is. I love that there's a leak-free seal, and I can feel really comfortable and confident when I'm teaching yoga or doing any sports with my Diva Cup.
Carrie, thank you so much for being here today and answering all our questions about menstrual cups.